Welcome to Cam Look, your chance to visit with the Cincinnati Art Museum on a weekly basis. Each Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer will present an object from our permanent collection and pose questions for discussion. Check back on those days at 10 a.m. for a new work and a new conversation. Hi, I'm Susan, a docent at the museum, and today I'd like to present a painting by the artist Angelica Kauffman titled Abraham Banishing Hagar and Ishmael. What's the story here? Abraham, a biblical patriarch prominent in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, has been promised a son and descendants as numerous as the stars. As the couple ages and Sarah, his wife, fails to conceive, she sends Hagar, her slave, to Abraham, and Ishmael is the result. Lo and behold, years later, Sarah does bear a child, Isaac. Mother and son are the ones in the shadows on the left. To keep the peace, Abraham sends Hagar and Ishmael away into the desert, something that reportedly was hard for him. You can see the affection between father and son. Abraham grasps the boy's hand as Ishmael leans into his dad as if seeking comfort. Hagar's expression is one of both resignation and despair as she grasps her son's arm, pulling him away. I can empathize with her. If you think single motherhood is tough today, imagine what faced Hagar in biblical times. The injustice of this action is the theme of our painting. Quick aside, mother and child are saved from starvation and thirst by miraculous intervention, and Ishmael grows up to have 12 sons of his own. Marchesa Polanese Ternetti di Pereira, an Italian noblewoman, commissioned this work the same year she moved her family from their ancestral home in Turin to Florence in opposition to French occupation. She could relate to Hagar's plight, perhaps. No record of divine intervention that I found eased her burdens, unless you count the papal decree that her husband was damned to hell while he was still living. He was suspected in both Policina and his mistress's deaths. This story just keeps getting better. And what of Angelica Kauffman, the painter? Does a story lurk in her history? Swiss by birth, she traveled with her father, also a painter, through Switzerland, Austria, and Italy. He was the artist who trained her. A child prodigy, she was a gifted singer, a skilled painter with paying customers by age 12, and mastered 4 languages: German, Italian, French, and English, a skill which served her well with British tourists visiting Rome, and later when she moved to London. She was considered both beautiful and charming and was well received. Championed by Sir Joshua Reynolds, she was one of 2 women included in the British Royal Academy when established in 1768. They exchanged portraits, leading to rumors of an affair, although Reynolds was 18 years her senior. Disillusioned by the apathy the British seemed to have for history painting and unwilling to restrict her work to portraits, Kauffman would return to Rome to pursue her preferred history subjects. The prominence she achieved in her lifetime was remarkable for a woman in the highly competitive artistic world. Perhaps her choice of the most highly regarded genre contributed to her success. Final questions. I described Hagar as resigned. How would you describe her expression? How else could she have been depicted? Kauffman leaves Sarah in the shadows. What expression would she wear if we could more clearly see her?